Hello and welcome back to JP Gaming. And today we are and welcome. And I doubled the sound there. Wonderful. Anyhow, today we are going to Jupiter, is at least the idea. I would have hoped that I could have gotten... Where are they? Is it these? No. These parts first, so I could have used the ion engines because they're very effective, but not the most fun to play around with, I guess. But we just don't have the science. And we need to get something somewhere to get more science. I could definitely go back to the moon more. I could just use my science lab, get hella more science, and I could go to Mars or could try landing at Venus again or whatever. But nah, I don't feel like it. Mercury is probably the next thing I'll go to, but Jupiter is what we're gonna wanna try and go to now. So I'm just gonna time warp up till we're like... I don't know where I need to be to get there, but somewhere around here, I guess. And yeah, also, we did send out our interstellar probe that is gonna be leaving the solar system. I don't know why I sent that out. But we also did place this relay last time for this specific mission to go to Jupiter. That's gonna work as a little bit of a help in the middle there. So we can get a little bit extra chance of having a connection to the KSP. Because like I said, this is gonna be a probe. This is not something that's gonna be sent back to Earth. And it's gonna be interesting on how I'm gonna build this. Because I'm still gonna rely on solar power. And I know kind of how much more solar power you need when you go out to like Joule in stock Kerbal Space Program. But I have no idea how much I'm gonna need now. But we're gonna slap on the basics here, the things that we know that we're gonna need. Gonna slap on that big ass antenna on top here. So I don't think there's anything else we need on the top there. And I think we'll start building on the body actually. Because I think we're gonna place maybe some of the science experiments on the body. I don't know. We can start placing them on now. We're gonna need the Gravimax because that's gonna give us a lot of science. I'm gonna want to try and get into an orbit around Jupiter, and then hopefully we can fly by a couple of planets. I don't really have like a set out plan for this. This is just gonna be let's go there and hope for the best kind of thing. But these 4 are the experiments. I think those are all the 4 that we're gonna bring with us. Maybe actually an experiment storage unit, because there might be situations, like I said, it's not gonna go back to Earth. It's gonna stay out there. Which actually leads me to think that maybe we could put a relay antenna on it instead of this big antenna. This one is a lot lighter, 6 times lighter than this. But then again, we could actually have some relay out there. Now, skip that. I'm gonna go for fuel efficiency here. I'm gonna name it the Juno 1, because that's like a real spaceship, Juno. But yeah, I'm gonna bring the storage unit because there might be situations where we don't have a connection to the KSP. but would still like to grab a lot of science, more than just one out of each, because it might be that we're just in the wrong spot or something, and then we can just store that in here in the meantime. And now for the fuel itself, I was thinking that liquid fuel is probably the way to go, and I'm thinking that maybe we should utilize one of these new tanks for that. So we can probably build something. Oh, this only has 400 units. That's the same as this one. Are they the same size? Oh, they are. Sorry for that. My I guess I didn't think of that. Oh, we do not need something that big, but I was thinking something in between those sizes. Not that either. Do we have one that's the 1. What is it? 1.8, 1.75, something like that. No, those are those. Those are those. That is that. No, that was the big one. I guess these are in the same size as those. Okay, I guess we don't have that, at least not right now. But we could start out with one of these instead then. This is gonna look so weird, I know. But the thing is, we're gonna go far. This has 10,000 meters per second of delta V. That's a lot. I think that would be enough. The thrust to weight isn't that bad either. I mean, it's 0.5. That's actually quite good for a nuclear engine. So I think we're gonna go with this. It's gonna look weird, I know, but this is just how it's gonna have to be. Because we're going for, like I said, we're going for efficiency here. I'm gonna slap on, I think, let's go with 12 of these. And then do the same with the batteries. Let's have 3 rows of these batteries down there. Okay, that takes us down to 8.6. I still think that would be enough for this craft. Maybe. Hopefully. Is it anything else we need on it? A lot of battery power. Maybe we don't need that much battery power actually. I'm gonna try and take that down to 2 rolls, and maybe we can do the same with the solar panels as well actually. Just to try and take the weight down a little bit. Because this thing is really heavy already, as it is. I'm gonna move these over here. I think that'll look a little bit better. It's still, it looks ridiculous, I know. But I think it does look a little bit better like this. And I have no idea what the difference in these variants are. It says orange, gray, or white. Oh, that's for the coating around it when you put them on a decoupler. And I took both of those off. So if we just have one, we can check it. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna have both of those off anyways. Okay, now we need to build some sort of stage that can take this into orbit. Because we need to go, of course, into an Earth orbit first. Let's also make an action group. Just to extend everything. Because we're only going to extend it once. And then have it extended. Hopefully we won't go into any atmospheres and blow that off. That is what we are hoping for. And I probably could have built this a lot prettier looking if I had the my brain just stopped. Ion engines. Thank you, brain. But yes, if I had the ion engines, I probably could have built it a lot better. think I'll go with one of these, and then a skipper engine for the upper stage of this. Okay, that has 3000 meters per second. That's pretty good, actually. I thought we would need a bigger rocket for this, but maybe we don't need a rocket that is that ridiculously big. Still gonna be ridiculous. Don't even think about telling me anything else. But it might not be as bonkers as I thought it would be from the beginning. And I think for the middle stage, maybe we can have these two then. And then have a mainsail engine at the bottom. That actually kind of works. It does have a little bit less thrust than I would like to have in this stage. So I'm gonna take away that one. But now let's make some side boosters for this thing as well. And I'm thinking that we are gonna go with what has worked endless times before. We're gonna go with an asparagus stage here at the outer edge. And I think this time I do want to have some separation boosters. I don't have the small ones. Oh, we do have some new engines though. Totally forgot about that. But I'm not gonna use them because I don't need them. The mainsail engines they're good enough for this. But yes, we're gonna put some fuel lines on there. And as I was saying before I cut myself off, that is not the correct one. Can we change the color on these? Yes, we can. Okay. But I think I'll go with some separators this time. I skipped those some time ago. Because I wanted to try out the new nose cones. And the nose cones, they're still cool. They're still awesome. I like them. I'm still gonna use them in the future. But not right now. Because I do be liking them separators. Those are gonna be with those, yes. Those are gonna be with those. And we're gonna start those engines before all of that. Okay, let's see now. How much do we have in terms of delta V? So we have 8,600 before this last stage, and I wanna have more, because I wanna make sure this thing gets into orbit. I wanna like really make sure. The thrust is pretty good already, so I'm thinking solid rocket boosters might not be the answer for once. I'm thinking maybe we can extend these side ones a little bit. And I'll probably regret this, as I always do. Because in the end I always want to have more thrust. And I always regret putting things like this on. Okay, that got messed up now. Change those to there and those to there. Yes. Okay, thrust to weight is okay now. And we have almost the amount of delta V that we want. So with that, I am gonna slap on some solid rocket boosters as well. Oh, we have the biggest ones now. Let's see if we can take some of those with us. And these, I think I'm gonna skip the separation booster hat thingies on, and just go with some nose cones. That is gonna be with this stage. Those are not gonna be separated first. But I think they will be separated there. Yes. Yes, they are. And I'm gonna take the thrust down on these to like 70 maybe. Maybe even more. Let's take them down to 60. Let's see how the readout is. Yeah, okay, I think 60 is gonna be good. Because that leaves us with a bigger gap between separating these first two solid rock, liquid fuel boosters, and then those solid rocket boosters, solid fuel boosters. Then separate those, separate that, start that, open the fairing. Probably gonna open the fairing before that, but we keep it in that stage anyways. Gonna auto strut all of these as well. And I haven't researched that much in the power parts of the tech tree, because I haven't really needed it until now, and now I've kind of feel like maybe I should have more solar panels on here somewhere, or more batteries. So I have no idea how much power I'm gonna get from those once I'm out to Jupiter. Feels like it could be like precisely enough to recharge everything efficiently, or it could be disastrous and just not recharge anything fast enough. I have no idea. Oh, I didn't even check how much Delta V this had. But we're gonna launch it anyways. Set the moon as target, and we are actually in a pretty good position to launch. I'm just gonna time warp a little bit, because I generally I've had to be a little bit in front of where it seems like the peak is from the moon to get into a good orbit that matches the moon's. So that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, nothing more to do than to launch. And it's moving pretty good. I would say that this rocket probably has a pretty realistic amount of thrust to weight. Because that takeoff looks kind of like it looks when you watch normal launches when you watch them on the telly, you know. Or maybe it's just me that watches launches. I don't watch that many launches anymore though. I used to watch a lot of launches, and I was all up to speed on when the next launch is, from which country and where to view them and stuff. But I don't know. I kind of stopped watching launches after SpaceX had launched their Starship, the first launches, or not total launches, but the first tests of Starship. After that, I don't know, I kind of felt like, now I've seen some cool shit. I'm kind of done now. Then I just started flying things in KSP instead. I feel like my headphones they were a little bit weird. It felt like air was coming in. That's not important though. What's important is what's going on screen. We are flying. This launch is actually going very well. I feel like we've come to a point now where I kind of know how to fly my rockets in RSS and how to build them efficiently. Because there was a long time there in the beginning where I just didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to fly up shit that was way too heavy and just looking weird. Now I feel like I have a little bit more sense. At least a little. Not too much, but a bit. I kind of know what I'm doing. I shouldn't say I know what I'm doing though. Okay, we're only 1.3 degrees off. That is very good actually. So normally that is more. Gonna see if we can burn a little bit. Yeah, we need to burn a little bit over here and then we can decrease that even more. And let's see, we're gonna try and focus a little bit on that on this stage when this stage is done. Okay, now we're just making it worse. Get back to 1 degree. There we go. Okay, now just point forward. Separation, just as we came back. Cool. Now our TWR is down a little bit, but I think our angle is pretty good. We are losing time to apoapse, but we are losing it slowly, so I think we're good. Gonna ditch that fairing because we don't really need it that much anymore. I think I'm gonna put it to just stabilize. And to not follow the prograde trajectory anymore. Because I think I need to point it a little bit upwards to gain some time to apoapse. Because the next stage, I think the next stage is not gonna have that. Okay, it's gonna have about the TWR that we had in the beginning with this stage. So it's gonna be about the same, but it would still be nice to gain a little bit more time to apoapse. Doesn't look like we're gonna do that though. And this has been the constant struggle for me. That I just, for some reason, I can't build rockets that are powerful enough. Although I do have the new engines now, so I could have probably used some better engines on this. Could have used a Mastodon or something. Because I think the Mastodon has like 1,600 thrust, and these have like 1,500. Okay, thought it was 1,300. Maybe it's the Mastodon that has 1,300, just that they're smaller or something. I do not remember precisely. Okay, and now we are off on our last stage that has so much more fuel, or so much more delta V than I thought it would have. I really thought this would have like 1,000, maybe 1.5, and it had 3,000. So I gotta say, I'm quite happy with this stage. Can extend those solar panels now and open up that antenna, so we for sure have a connection to the KSC. Oh, shit. Was gonna stop the time warping. Fuck that up a little bit. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of fuel left in this when we get into orbit. And if we have more than like 500, then I'll save it and we'll use it for the escape burn. But if it's anything less than 500, then I think I'm gonna throw it back. And I actually think it's gonna be a little bit more than 500. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit more. So we are closing in on getting into orbit now. Yeah, we do not need that much more. I think I'm gonna stop here. Time warp us up to closer to our apoapsis. And do the rest of the burn here. I swear it's gonna be like exactly 500 when I'm done with this. And yeah, 560. Okay, so that is over 500, so we are gonna use it. 1 degree off, that is okay, I guess. I'm just gonna make a test maneuver now to see if we can get an intersect with Jupiter. There you are. You are far out. We're gonna go there directly. Okay, we need to burn around here, apparently. And it's gonna take quite a lot of delta V to get there. And we can get we can get what do you call this? Encounter. Thank you, KSP. We can get an encounter. All we need is 6,000 meters per second of delta V. A little bit more actually. Good thing we almost have 9,000, because then we will have about 3,000 left, which is very good. So I think we'll need that. We'll probably need that to get anywhere close to it, and to try, of course, and get captured. I'm gonna see once I'm out there if there's any possibility of me like getting a gravity assist that can help me with getting captured. Okay, so this first burn is gonna be very short because we only have 18 seconds of burn time. So we're just gonna burn for like 10 seconds. But I still want to use like almost all the fuel that I can. We can use about 400 meters per second in that. Then we can go around. Point retrograde. Fuck that. Burn a little. Now it's inside the atmosphere. I think it's deep enough. And get ourselves back into an orbit. Let's aim for about 200 kilometer periaps here. So I think we'll need that for the burns. So we know it's about here where I need to burn now. So I'm gonna make up 3 minute burn. For some reason I like to do 3-minute burns. I don't know why. I've just done that for such a long time now. It feels good to do that. 3 minutes feels like a good amount of time to burn. Let's time warp up a little bit till we hit that T-minus 130 and a burn with that single nuclear engine. And this does look very weird, this rocket. But all rocket looks a little bit weird. But I can't say that this looks realistic in any way. Sadly enough, it doesn't. But like I said, if I would have had neon thrusters. I probably could have made it look cooler, but it would definitely have less thrust, and the hassle of just having to burn and have all those batteries on that you need, and then trying to regain the electricity with only solar panels, that would have been a nightmare. Because when you have RTGs on, you can at least you can at least hypothetically you can burn all the time, and those RTGs are gonna supply you with fuel or energy for those thrusters. It's gonna do that. It's just not gonna be that efficient or effective, for that matter. Okay, that's gonna be our second burn. I think I'm gonna make this into a 4-minute burn. Yeah. So otherwise this would have been our last. Well, this is now gonna be our last burn, but then the burn after this would have been so much shorter that it wouldn't have been like worth it to do the whole orbit and stuff. Okay, let's point ourselves prograde. Let's get up to that marker, or that time. T minus 2 minutes. And start the burn. Still hate that I don't have, or maybe I do have the better probe course now. Not probe cores, but probes. The ones that can actually point at targets and at maneuver nodes. Maybe I do have that one. But I just haven't used it. It's fucking impossible to steer anything with time warp on. Although I was testing out a new launch vehicle that I made in Sandbox earlier today, and that was pretty much unflyable without physical time warp. Just because it was so freaking big, and I had like 2 frames per second or something like that. It was really bad. And now for the last burn, the long one. Cause yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Let's see. How close can we get? Oh, we can get pretty close actually. Can get very close. Much closer than I thought. Okay, I'm gonna get to about here. Then we're gonna have to fix our angle and other stuff once we get into a sun orbit. So normally going to the moon takes about, as I've read in a comment once, a guy told me. Fuck, I don't remember his name. Was it Aban something? Oh, and I'm double scrolling now. Ah. There we go. Now I stopped scrolling on that other screen. Trying to see, because I think he follows me. I'm trying to look through my recent follows. See if I can find that guy. No, I can't find him. Anyhow, there was someone. Oh, and I totally forgot. I need to calculate when to start burning. I need to start burning at 3 minutes 24. That divides into 12, so 3 minutes and 12 seconds. That is when we need to start burning, which is now. And that burn starts. But yes, somebody told me in a comment a while back that to go to the moon in KSP RSS, you need about 3,300 meters per second of delta V. And that's about what it takes to go to Jupiter too, it seems like. At least when you're at the edge of already getting out of Earth's sphere of influence. This is gonna take some time because I'm gonna have to burn for a bit here. I'm gonna wait until I'm a bit off the maneuver marker, and then I'm gonna have to stop time warping and go and change it. It feels like it's following pretty well this time. Better than last time. Maybe it's just following better because I'm not interacting with it or trying to change where I'm pointing all the time. Okay, now it's a little bit too much off. Just gonna change that. Pointing at it perfectly again. Think we are at least. And time warp. The burn we're making here was not as insanely long as I thought it would be. It was long though. In total, I think when I made that first one it said like 13 minutes or something like that. But I think it definitely helps with dividing it up into multiple burns. So it really makes it feel like it's going faster. And of course, physical time warping helps a lot when dealing with these low thrust engines. Although our thrust to weight ratio right now is actually over 1, which is pretty good for an engine like this. Okay, I'm gonna take that away now and just look here. Damn. We're just getting closer and closer. Okay, I guess I'll just keep on burning. Okay, now we're getting further away again. Okay, so let's focus up on Jupiter this time. Let's see if we can make a mid-course correction somewhere. You can also, this is something that I haven't seen that many people do, but something that I think is quite nice to do, that you move, after you make a maneuver like this, you can move it around to see where is it gonna make the biggest impact, and that's how you know where you should do that burn to save as much fuel as possible. Okay, so we actually need to burn a little bit. Radial in or out? Which way are the planets rotating? They're rotating like this, so I want to come in like that as well. That's our escape. We need to burn like that, I guess. And come in like that. Oh, it's like perfect. It's as good as it's gonna get. I wonder how close you need to be close to Jupiter. I feel like this is still gonna be high above. But let's make this burn first. And after that I'm gonna see if I can... Maybe we can get a sling by of some of these planets. What are they? Io is closest, yes. Europa. Ganymede. I think it's Ganymede and not Ganymede. Ganymede. Ganymede feels more familiar. And Salisto. I think Salisto? Salisto. Or Salisto. I don't know. This was one of the moons that I didn't know about before downloading this mod. So it is Kerbal Space Program. I can now prove that it is educational. I knew there were 2 dwarf planets somewhere outside of Mars, but I didn't know it was Vesta and Ceres. There is also another one that I knew about that I think is named Makimaki? Something like that? Yeah, something like that. But that one is apparently too small for the game, but Pluto is not. Oh damn, and I guess this is what our orbit would have been if we would have just kept on going after this. And damn, Pluto is in a whole other fucking inclination than the rest of the planets. I didn't know that. I thought it was about the same as the rest, but that is way off. And then we have Neptune and Uranus, of course, and Saturn. So I guess the next place we're gonna go is probably Mercury. And then Saturn, I think. I think, at least. I don't know, but I think. But I guess it's time for some time warping and shit. So we have about 300 days, so about a year until this burn. In the meantime, I'm gonna check. There's our interstellar probe, which should be moving a little bit faster than us. It's about the same speed. 16,000. Okay, it's a little bit faster than us. Not too much. Okay, let's do this burn. And let's just smooth us in here. And that was perfect. I gotta say, going to Jupiter, way easier than going to the moon. Going to Jupiter, I don't know, maybe it's just that I've learned so much more about the game now and stuff. But it just feels like this is way easier than going anywhere else. So let's see, if we were to not decrease but increase our orbit. Trying to just see if we get any impacts with any of the planets, but I don't think so. I don't know which one of these is the biggest either. I guess Europa is one that I would like to get around somehow. Ah. I think I'm just gonna use this. Take that down a bit. Because I think I saw something. Okay, yeah, we do have a close approach on our way out. But I'm gonna see actually first, before we do anything. See, if we were to just burn here, how much do we need to burn? Okay, we don't need to burn that much to get into an orbit. It's gonna be a very elliptical orbit, but we only need to burn about 600 meters per second. So you know what, I think I'm gonna do that first, and then we'll start caring about orbiting other places. And I'm also gonna go to the space center and then go back to this thing, so we can regain the focus on the main craft. Because I know there is a button somewhere to do that. The problem is though that for some reason that button has just never worked for me. And I think it has to do with my keyboard being a Swedish keyboard. I think. It sounds weird that that would be the case, but I think that is the case. It's as simple as that. Let's see, sun exposure 0.99. Okay. Energy flow 0.145. Not too bad, not too bad. We're getting enough to sustain this thing. I didn't think that we wouldn't, but it's still good to know that we are. Let's see, have we done this? Yeah, we have. Okay. We have done this one as well, right? The magnetometer boom. In space, ha. Okay, we have. Skip that one. And I guess we can just time warp some more. And my wheel is gonna be hurting. And right now it seems like we don't have a connection. And it's something up with the time warping that I sometimes lose connection. But it seems like we still have 3 bars. So it feels safe. Well, kind of. Okay, let's make a quick save here first before doing anything at all. Then we can start doing some experiments. 58 science for that. Thank you very much. 200 science for that. That ain't bad. And we are recharging. We are recharging very slowly though. I don't know how much are we gonna have left after this. Okay, that was fine. And these two are pretty small, both of them. So we could transmit that. Okay. So at least now I've tested that and I know that we can transmit all 4 of our science experiments without it being like a problem. We're gonna have enough electricity to do all of that. Okay, let's get in and cozy with Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? I can't see it. Okay, now I should see it. Okay, there it is. That's so cool. Gotta say, it's a nice looking planet. It's a nice looking planet. Oh, and we can see the moons as well. Oh, that's awesome. See the moons out there. And Jupiter. I think it's a little bit bright. For me, it's a little bit bright. I can see for you, it's a little bit bright for you as well. But for me, it's a lot more brighter. Because for some reason, both YouTube and Twitch are kind of the same in that way. That the videos or stuff you make, it becomes a lot darker for some reason. Okay, let's start burning and get this thing into an orbit. I'm just gonna point retrograde now because that's where I need to point. Could probably get rid of this. Oh, and we are in orbit. A very elliptical one though. I'm gonna burn a little bit more to take it down at least a bit. Let's take it down to 10 million kilometers, I guess. Or is it yeah, that might be for metric mile. Or million miles. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I didn't check if that was close to the planet where we were down there. So I'm just gonna do an orbit here. To check if that was the case. We might have missed out on a flyby of Europa. No, it's still space high. It seems like the biome changed though. I think it did. And now we can make another one of those. I'm gonna see if I can take some of the biomes out as I'm going around. Seems like we're getting closer. I'm gonna see if we do something like that. Something like that. Okay, we can get pretty close here. And we can get a flyby. Perfect. Let's see if we can get a close flyby. Okay, we can. See if we can get it on. Guess we can keep on going so we can get it on the other side of the planet. And decrease our orbit a bit. It's not going to increase it by a lot. Or decrease it, sorry. But it's at least something. I know Europa does have an atmosphere, so I want to be very careful to not go too low. Or, yeah, okay. It's burning the wrong end. Let's go for 98 and then, of course, we're gonna make a quick save. And then we'll see how that goes. Still, that's gonna take us down 2 of those highest units. 2,000 miles, I guess. Gonna try and get this pretty much spot on. And right now we are gonna implode the planet, which is not good. I think I need to burn a little bit. Retrograde. I'm gonna take my engine down to 0.5. And yes, that is what I needed to do. Now I have an over to 86. Gonna take it up to 100. Quick save. And now we're just gonna hope that that is not too low. But yeah, pretty cool. We're going to Europa. Or doing a flyby of Europa. I'm gonna try at least, because we still have a lot of fuel, or Delta V. So I'm gonna try at least and do a flyby of all the moons, because they're pretty much on the same plane. So if I can get to all of them, that would be kind of cool. And get close to Jupiter would also be kind of cool if I could manage that. And now I'm in space high. So yeah, I fucked that up.
Just did a bad thing.
Okay, let's do that again. Let's time warp slower this time. He says, and start out with time warping fast as fuck. But I meant let's be slower once we get close to the planet. Or moon. Planet or moon. Either or. And maybe I'm wrong. I just realized maybe Europa doesn't have an atmosphere. Maybe I'm thinking of another planet. Because yeah, I might very well be thinking of Titan, which is a totally different moon around a totally different planet. Or giant. Because that's around Saturn. Getting that science. Atmospheric pressure scan. The instrument reads 0. It's as if it were in a vacuum. Then maybe it is. Let's make a quick save here and get close and see if we can get... If we are gonna get close or in space low, and we were. Nice. That means we can do... So I think our batteries are pretty much loaded now. I think we can at least transmit these and this one. And we can do the magnetometer one, but we're gonna save it. We are recharging, but we're recharging very slowly. So I'm gonna keep that, collect that in there. And now we don't have any sun exposure either. And we moving fast as fuck. Damn, imagine trying to land here. And I just realized, of course I'm gonna have to try and do that someday. Not now, but someday, of course. Okay, Io, let's set you as our next target. Some small changes there, and we can get a close flyby of Io as well. That's awesome. Okay, let's open up this one again. Let's take that down. Let's take that up a little bit. Could probably drag on it. Yes, we could. And now we are basically inside the planet, which is not ideal. Let's see. Is it retrograde or prograde? Trying to look at the orbit I'm gonna have next as well, because I want to get it down. Of course, I want to get my orbit down. And of course, this is the boring part of going into space, making maneuver nodes and trying to make them kind of precise in a way. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this. I'm not gonna sit around here fanoodling with that too much. But yes, this flyby will be on the inside, so that will decrease our orbit even more. So you can get even closer to all the other planets and fly by slower and stuff, you know. And it is time to burn. And I just remembered that I took this down a whole bunch, so let's take it up a nudge. Let's take it to 40. Because we do not need too much thrust. Have a pretty good TWR on this thing. I gotta say. We do. And once again, we are inside the planet. So let's back off a bit. Now we're too far away. Wish I would have put some monopropellant thrusters on this. Probably come in handy, making these very small maneuvers. 38 kilometers above. Now let's hope Io doesn't have an atmosphere. Wish I would have listened more when the teachers talked about planets in astronomy, not astrology. I don't know why, but I have a hard time figuring those two ones out. Astronomy and astrology. Which one is which? Think I know. Astronomy is the cool one. Astrology is the sucky one. The one that I don't know anything about. Except I kind of do a little, to be honest. So I do know I'm a Scorpion. And I also do know that I actually have a tattoo of how the Scorpion sign looks. Which is weird. And I don't know, I just kind of got it because I've always thought that I wanted to have it, and then I was like, well, then I should get it because I've always wanted it. And then I got it and I was like, why did I do this? I didn't want this. But I guess in some way I kind of did want it. We're over Highlands. I don't know, was this the one that we took before? No, it was not. Okay. Midlands might be the one that we took before. We can see that by trying to put it in there. And no, it was not. Lowlands. Is that the one we took before? No, now I was trying to transmit it. And this was the one that we took before. So we have that. Now I have 5 things that we want to transfer. So I forgot to transfer shit last time when we went out into our orbit. Now we are here again. Now we can get to the stored shit. Transmit. Transmit. How much do we have left? We can transmit that. Can't transmit this one. I've already done that one, apparently. Transmit it anyways. Gravity scan, that's gonna take too much. It's time warp a little bit. Transmit. And that was it. Now that is empty. Perfect. Okay, so we've been around Io, we've been around Europa. Ganymede, I guess you are next on the list. I don't know how I need to change my angle for that. But I know I need to maybe get into a higher orbit. Yes. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit more expensive. When it comes to the Delta V. Delta Vito. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. That was weird. Although it does feel like it was like yesterday that song was like famous or whatever. But no, it was not that long ago. Or well, no, opposite. It was very long ago. That's gonna take our orbit down even more. Because my goal here, I haven't told you, but my goal is to try and get my orbit down with these random flybys of the different moons. I want to try and do that so I can get to maybe like Callisto, I don't know what it's called, and like orbit one of these, maybe Ganymede or Callisto or something else, but be in orbit around one of the moons instead of being around Jupiter. Because then I can be a little bit more certain that this thing is gonna stay there in orbit. Or maybe I should crash it. Because I won't really need it after this. So maybe I should do what scientists have done with some other probes. I think the Juno probe did crash into Jupiter. I know they crashed one into Saturn a while back. Hey, and that took our burn time. I don't know if you saw that. But our burn time was like 1 hour and something. I took that down quite a lot. I thought it was weird that the time warping, the automatic time warping to the node stopped at like 40 minutes before the burn time. But yeah, it was probably because of that. But now it's time to 47 seconds. Not gonna get it precise, but I guess this might be a bigger planet, because it seems like it has a bigger impact on our general velocity. Okay, and now we burn very slowly the last little bit here. And once again, we burnt a little bit too much. And now it says we're gonna crash into the planet. Okay, 13 kilometers above. That doesn't feel safe. Let's go a little bit higher. 30. Okay, that feels better. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Hey. Hey. Streamar. Ja. Behövde du något? Okej, jag kommer sen. Hejdå. That was just my very tired fiance lying in bed and waiting for me. That sounded sexual. It's not. She's waiting for me to come over there and give her hugs. It's a cozy time situation. And we did not need to turn around and point that way. But now we did. Here you are. What was the name of you again? Gayamed. Let's transmit everything. And okay, it's still charging about the same rate. Now let's wait until we are in space low. And we are now in space low, and we do not have a connection. So we're just gonna make or take all of these readings and store them. Good thing I have that experiment storage unit. We are very close. Damn. It's a beautiful planet. Very uneven. I don't know what else to say. It's very uneven. It is. And now we have connection again, and we have full power in our batteries. So let's just click through those. And go on here again. Celeste, put that as our target. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna have perfect. I was gonna say encounter here. Need to change our angle a bit. But yeah, this is basically gonna be all of our fuel if we want to get here. That is gonna be all of our fuel plus a little extra. So that's too much. So I'm thinking now maybe we could do a flyby of one of the other planets to change our orbit some way. Set this as target again. See if we encounter you here. Could get our orbit to change a little bit. Might be better, might be worse, I don't know. Maybe we could actually just add maneuver and then see in a couple of orbits if anything happens. Okay, seems like nothing is gonna happen for a lot of orbits. Let's change our angle a bit. And then see if we'll get a close approach anytime soon. Let's maybe not change that. Okay, that's gonna be a lot of orbits. It seems like we are gonna get one around here. Ah. Trying to see how I need to burn to get these closer. There we go. I can do that pretty cheaply. It's gonna be a lot of waiting around, but we are gonna get quite close for a low cost, which which is good. So we do still have quite a lot of delta V. We want to decrease our orbit or increase our orbit. Well, preferably none. Preferably we would just go there and stay there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get captured here, but I'm gonna try. Let's get there. That seems good enough. Oh wow. 1157 days. That is a very long time. But I guess we have nothing better to do, so yeah. Let's leave this thing to roll for a little bit. Good thing I have the better time warp mod thing installed, because that's like a couple of years. That's like 3 years. And once again, I think I've taken down the thrust too much. Yes, I had. Let's take it up to 46. And for once, we are not gonna crash into the planet. Okay, cool. At least we're gonna get a flyby now. We might not be able to get captured though. But we don't know that yet, because we haven't tried. But if I make a maneuver node here, yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to do that. Well, that kind of sucks. Then I think we will do the noble thing and destroy this craft after this flyby. We're gonna at least try. Where's the planet? There it is. Oh, well, planet. It's a moon. I always forget. This is a big one, though. This is a really big one. Do we have enough? We did have enough to transmit all of those. Okay, now we just need to destroy this somehow. Guess we could try. I think even with all the fuel. Oh, maybe. Yeah, okay, with all the fuel, basically, we can actually crash into Jupiter. Well, then let's make a very quick flyby inside the atmosphere and see if we can survive that. Because then we could actually, well, we're definitely gonna get in space near Jupiter then. And that will hopefully mean that that'll hopefully mean that we can get some more data and some more science. Hopefully. If we don't just, you know, crash and burn instantly. Because we are going very fast. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, make a quick save. Take that away. As fast as I see that white line come out, I'm gonna stop this madness. Trying to look for the round numbers and be ready whenever I pass a round number. So I feel like the atmosphere is gonna start at a round number. It usually does. Below 11, below 10. Could it be? Probably. Maybe. No? Okay. Below 9 feels weird. Below 8 feels possible. Still no? Shit, we're getting close. Still no atmosphere? Dang. At least no readout of one. Maybe we are dipping into it. Thought the atmosphere was gonna be way higher than this. Okay. Gonna go a little bit inside there. Hopefully this will be fine. But now we are here. You know what? I've never thought of that, but when going to Joule, or like Jupiter now in RSS, maybe you could use the atmosphere of the gas giant to get capture. You just need a big ass heat shield. But that might be worth trouble. We are now in space low. Cool. We still have connection, so I'm gonna do all the science we can. We can close the antenna to try and save that. Could actually do that. But we can't take in the solar panels. And the solar panels will probably go before the antenna anyways. I'm gonna point ourselves this way. So we can get maximum sun exposure on all of those. Gonna retract the antenna just to hopefully we can recharge most of the battery before getting into the atmosphere here. Where I have no idea what's gonna happen, but it feels like something might happen. Everything might just explode instantly. We don't know. Oh, we're inside now. And everything didn't explode instantly. That doesn't work. That means we are inside an atmosphere. Cool. Okay, and I can't do that one either. Remembered that one now. But yeah, we seem to be fine. Seem to be doing okay. So now I guess we're just gonna float here a little bit. And why is something is up with the textures here? I think textures are lagging a little bit. Maybe it's too much for the game. It's a fuel tank mod and a game mechanic mod, or whatever you could call that. And now we're out. Cool. Okay. Review and transmit those. No. Gonna go out to our app lapses again. Burn retrograde again. But this time we'll burn out more. So now it is time to watch this thing explode. Which I'm quite excited about. Let's take it down to 200. That is definitely, it says it's gonna land us basically. So that is probably gonna blow us up because we can't land on this planet. It's a gas giant. Oh damn, look at that trajectory. Gonna go in here and then we're just gonna get sucked in by the planet somewhere along this line. That's so cool. I guess that's when you hit the thicker parts of the atmosphere and the winds and stuff. Maybe it's calculating something like that, or maybe the game just doesn't know what to do. More likely that the game just doesn't know what to do. Okay, let's see. How low are we gonna get before things start exploding? Surface 47,000 meters per second we're moving at right now. Damn, that's fast. That is very, very, very quick. Oh, and our engine explodes, and we got down to 808 miles. Metric miles. So about 8,000 kilometers. Or no, 8. What will that be? No, that is the total number. Of course, that's not 800. That is 80,000. Yeah. So 80,000 miles. So about 800,000 kilometers. That's how close we got. No closer, no further. Okay, let's go back to the Space Center. Damn, I thought this would take way longer. Going to Jupiter was not that difficult. And damn, we got 4,200 science. I think we had 100 before. About 100, 114 or something like that. So we got about 4,130 something. Okay, so we have a lot of things we can unlock now. First of all, let's unlock some better stuff down here. So definitely want the RTGs. We can unlock the bigger fuel tanks. Might need those in the future. I don't have any plans to build any rovers. Not yet anyway. Don't think I'll need those. And yes, definitely gonna get these so I can have the better probe cores. Gonna get that. Can't get any of these now, don't have enough for that. Is there anything else down here that we might need? Might be nice to have some of these side-mounted engines if we want to land a rover on Mars. So I'm gonna get that. A bunch of structural parts. Don't really need that right now. Don't think so. Would like a bigger fairing. Yes. For the rover as well, because I'm probably gonna put that inside a fairing and then land the fairing itself. Don't really need any of these things, but we could get some anyways. Okay, the bigger reaction wheel, that might be good to have, so let's get that. Okay, so with that single mission we got a whole lot unlocked. Do still have things to unlock, of course, as you can see. So we're not totally done yet, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do once we have unlocked everything. Maybe I'll just start over and try it again, see if I can do it faster and more efficient now that I've learned a whole lot of things about how in general just to play this game. And why is everything dark all the time? Okay, there is the sun. What are these chasing? Feels like they're changing their position a bit too often. Anyhow, that is not important. Next time, what are we gonna do then? I think maybe it's time to land a rover on Mars. Would be awesome to send some Kerbals to Mars as well. We have been to the moon, we have a station around the moon, maybe extend that. I think I want to do some of those things before going further out into the solar system. Or maybe, now that we have the ion engines, maybe we should just make one long mission where we do like a flyby of Jupiter to get some more speed, get out to Saturn, Neptune, and check out those planets. What else do we have out there? Uranus as well. So Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Have those three places to go to still. And a lot of small moons and stuff around those, of course. But I think, at least in this save, I might not go to all of those. But maybe, you never know. You never know. Let's check the tracking station just to see. I mean, we have a pretty good network out here of relays and stuff now. I should probably send some relays out further. 'Cause this one doesn't have a connection with anything now. It doesn't look like it, at least. So I think that might be a problem if I go out to if I go out further than Saturn, try to go to Uranus or Neptune, then I think maybe we need to set up a relay network or two somewhere a bit further out so they can all connect in. So maybe we'll need to send a relay out to Jupiter, one to Saturn, something in between those maybe. And maybe something to Uranus as well if we want to go to Neptune. Like I said, it seems like this thing isn't connected to anything like right now. And it is just past Uranus. It's not even out to Neptune's altitude. But anyhow, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.